Hi everyone, so I finished my upgrading my skills for HR, and today we were looking at HR and integrating that with using technology. So I think things are changing so fast, it's good to upgrade your skills and to keep aware of what's happening. And also the case law, because they do cover case law, it's mainly lawyers that are giving the presentations. So it's good to learn. I think for me, I come from a different perspective to HR. So often for me, there's a bit of uncomfortableness with the things they're saying. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't represent lawyers. I don't represent psychiatrists. So, I come with my own perspective, which is from the point of view of theology and as an ordinary person and an HR professional. So I think some of the things that we're seeing in our world today, like the cutting of aid to Africa or not accommodating people. Yes, there is a bit of uncomfortableness when you have to accommodate people. But the point is, if you're like me and you're a sports person, look at, or you're a singer, an entertainer, look at who I have on my wall, right? So, Elvis wasn't all that healthy. These guys, do you think they were all that healthy by the time they got to the end of their careers? Roger and Rafa had to play, and Andy, with no accommodation. So I think people need to think a bit more carefully of what they mean when they say we're not going to accommodate people to the point of undue hardship. Because the examples I've given you of these men, they are the greatest. Elvis Presley is the greatest singer. Rafael Nadal is the greatest tennis player. So is Roger Federer. So if you're going to sit there and tell me we're not willing to accommodate you to the point of undue hardship, but what am I bringing to the table for you? And if people hadn't made some adjustment for Rafa, for Roger, for Presley, do you think they would have been able to continue in their careers? They didn't tell Elvis, oh, you have to go and play with the disabled singers now. We have a special category for you. Or they didn't tell Roger and Rafa, you can't play tennis with the normal tennis players anymore. Because, you put your back out, you've had so many leg surgeries, and you, Rafa, you're disabled. You were born with this condition, we only knew about it now. So we're creating a special category, you have to play with the disabled people. They didn't do that. And really and truly, if sports worked that way, or entertainment, or anything else, we would have a different world. So all I'm saying is, for me, when I look at things, I often don't agree with lawyers. I often don't agree with psychiatrists or psychologists, because I'm coming at things from my heart. I'm coming at things from a place of dealing with people as people, especially people who have given you X number of years of their life, whether it's 4 years or 5 years or 6 months. It's not as simple as saying, well, we'll give you a package and, we'll organize outplacement for you and you can go and find another role. Because the reality is that those same things that are affecting them getting accommodation in your firm are going to affect the next company they go to. And is it that much of an adjustment to give somebody a day shift? Or to say, okay, you know what, these lights, we're making the tennis players play at ridiculous times at Roland Garros, and these lights are shining in their eyes. So let's be reasonable. Let's say we're going to cut off the tennis playing at sundown, like the players want. Is that being unreasonable? Or the only thing that matters is that you make your money? Because money is important, yes, nobody is saying it isn't. But at the end of the day, you can't buy your reputation. You can't. I mean, I would rather have a good reputation than have vast amounts of money. So I come at things from a very different perspective. And also, what do you mean point of undue hardship? Because really, if it's going to mean your company will have to close to accommodate that person, then that is undue hardship. But I mean, what do you mean by the point of undue hardship? So anyway, I join these talks to listen, to upgrade my skills, to, learn. But I don't come at things from the same perspective. It's the same thing with the cutting of aid. Like, we're not saying don't deal with the corruption. We do have to deal with the corruption, because even for me as a volunteer, whether it's on the One campaign or in the church, I don't want my money going to corrupt people. I want it used wisely. I want my time used wisely. I can probably make the money back, but you can't give me my time back. You can't give me the last 17 years back of after TD letting me go. I can't get another good paid permanent job paying me over 60,000 a year. You can't give me back that time. So that's all I'm saying, is that I don't come at things from the perspective of North America, because I've lived in Africa and I know what it's like when you're waiting for that aid to come in, you're waiting for that medication, you're waiting for those vaccines, you're waiting for that food. And then they say, oh, well, there's corruption, so we're not sending it. So I've been to bed hungry because the West wouldn't send the food, or they wouldn't put the aid through, or they wouldn't help in time of need. I've experienced UDI, which is why I'm trying to encourage this government not to only trade within Canada, but to build relationships. I see Cyril Ramaphosa has reached out to Canada. So that's good, because he led the G20. But there are other African countries which are doing well, which are coming up. There are other opportunities which Canada will lose out on. So I don't claim to be a lawyer or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and I don't believe in psychiatry. I come from a Catholic tradition, and many of the older priests do not believe in psychiatrists. They say it's evil, and I agree with them. And I am somebody who will try everything under the sun before I take medication, because I know the side effects of medication. Even now with losing my weight, I mean, my weight has been the same. I can't seem to get it to go down beyond this 87.1 kgs. It doesn't mean I'm going to give up, but I'm trying to do a little more exercise, cut back a little more on what I'm eating so that I can get it down. Because I did have it at 84 kgs, but then with the stress and everything else, it went right back up. So now I have to lose that weight again. So that's all I'm saying, and I've trained with the sisters here at Regis College who know what happens when you trust too much in psychiatry and in drugs and all that. And I don't believe in all that. So, that's why I probably don't end up getting HR jobs, because I don't come at things from this culture. I'm always coming at things from a culture where it's rubbing them the wrong way. But the sisters do that too. Anybody who has been trained in theology is going to do that. We're not going to make you feel comfortable. We're going to make you feel uncomfortable, because what we are saying to you doesn't fit into your neat little box. So that's the reality. It's the same as now with the G7. I wanted to go, but I didn't have the money. I couldn't go, and it would have cost the team too much time and money and everything to coordinate a ticket for one person and hotel accommodation. So I missed out on a big opportunity, but I had to put my priorities right. So that's all I'll leave you with. If you're following my talks, if you're following what I'm saying, I mean, you have to think about it as what are you doing for your people? It's not just about the money. The money is important, but it's how are you treating people? How are you making people feel about coming to work for you? How are you making your team feel about staying? They were saying that companies can't retain people today, but the news is telling me the opposite. The news is telling me that companies are laying people off. So I don't know. And also, if you're not going to accommodate people, you're not going to get people like me. You're not going to get the likes of Roger Federer or Rafa Nadal, or if he was alive, Elvis Presley, because you're too focused on your money. So you got to think about it. That's all I'm saying. You got to think about it. And if you're not interested in the scripture, and what I'm saying is this is coming from scripture, then think about it in terms of what are you doing to the community? What are you doing to families? What is it going to be like in the long run? Because you're going to lay that person off. You're going to say, we can't accommodate you. And then that person's family is going to be affected. Not only their family, but all the community things that they are helping. All the people that they are giving money to. So I'm a benefactor with the St. Jude League in America. They're having a mass for us on July the 20th. So you can go to my LinkedIn. I couldn't even fit all of the organizations on there that I help. So when you lay me off, it's not just like, oh yeah, we're laying her off. She's minimum wage, we'll get another bum on the seat and do it. You're laying off an educated person. You're laying off a person who doesn't have the support for outplacement. You're laying off a person who helps the community, not just here in Canada, but in America, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, the Jesuits. So you gotta think. You gotta think, and you gotta have a heart. Because if you don't, what is happening in Canada is just gonna continue happening. And it will become like Zimbabwe. The IMF went back to Zimbabwe. Why? Because Zimbabwe is starting to come up. Great Britain went back. Why? Zimbabwe is starting to come up. When you're a winner, everyone wants to work with you. But when things are in the doldrums, when things are bad, then nobody wants to work with you. Then they want to lay you off and tell you, you go and do it. Sorry, we can't accommodate you. You better think twice. It will come back on your company.